the Real Boss TV 815. Y'all know what to do. Like and subscribe. I got my co-host D Lynn on here with me, and we're gonna talk about Shanquella Robinson's case, man, because y'all know I was covering the case for a while, and I was bringing a lot of valuable details in about the card game, et cetera, et cetera. But there was one thing that a lot of people didn't want to understand and listen to me about, and I mean, D Lynn, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I kind of heard about it. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the audio, and then we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna
Okay.
break it down to because the thing about it is there's some slick people in this world that know how the law works, and it's always the law or our opinion, our feelings. Now, morally, all of this was wrong morally on both sides, but also now you got to deal with the law and you got to see how it falls into place as far as violating their codes legally. But like I said, we're gonna go ahead and just play this audio, you know, and then we're gonna talk about it. So let's get down to it. And I had to solo, so we can't show the images. D-Lin.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. So we hear the okay, the okay, the okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we don't even have to show that no more. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to go through that. Y'all understood, y'all heard that.
Hmm.
So what we finna do now, we finna break it down to them. Like I said, Dejanae, so for my opinion, they had to been telling her, no, don't mess up the party. Like they was all in front of the door. I know they had their cameras out and for whatever reason. And Dejanay obviously came from the back. But, since they're free now and they're running around, there's a little more information coming out. And it has been confirmed. And that's why I played it back because some people from North Carolina sent this to me and they're just saying, like, hey, man, you was right. They've heard that it's confirmed that Dejanay, in the state that Shanquella was in, Dejanay went ahead and made like I don't want to say make her, but made her agree to get into the altercation because you heard her say okay, and then Dejanay said okay. So when you look at it in a legal standpoint, it's like she agreed to it, you know, and that's slick on Dejanay's part because it's like she's saying I'm not gonna just no, I ain't gonna just do this. I'm gonna get her to say yeah. You see
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's kind of like I was saying. That it's kind of like you got to kind of know or been in trouble before or know the law to know that you needed to like lead her into saying
Yeah.
okay and agreeing to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because it's a different thing when you just run in there. But like, so from my understanding is there's a little bit more to the video, of course, where they're talking and Designat's telling her like, so woo woo woo, and we gonna have to, you know, and then Quilla says okay, and then that's when she said okay, and
Right.
then that's when it starts. Now everybody knows, just like in the streets, It's different when you just run up on somebody, but it's also different when y'all both agree. Now, am I saying that this is right? No. I'm saying that it's even messed up that she took advantage of Quilla's state, her whatever state she was in her mind or whatever was going on with her to know that she could persuade her to say okay. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Exactly.
Like
That's
she knew she could do it. She
mhm.
knew that was gonna work.
Exactly.
And then that's what they took advantage of. And then now the laws are saying, hey, we can't even determine if that altercation caused that to happen to her.
Right.
So that's where we left it.
Right. But you know what my question is what I still don't understand is okay, so I get the part where she got her to agree to fight. But then in the middle of the fight,
The
you
altercation.
the altercation,
Altercation.
sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. In the middle of the altercation, it was another part where she said she didn't want to fight, altercate. She didn't want to do that. How do you explain that part though? Wouldn't that squash it and now they have to stop?
Well, in so many ways, she covered Designate covered her in, and also it was just that they determined that they can't say that the altercation caused what happened to her. So real life and real law, if something's going on and somebody's doing something to you, I know out here, once the perpetrator is out the building, then you can't do nothing. Anything if you chase them down, that's you see what I'm saying?
I'm listening.
So just by her saying okay, yeah, okay, we understand, but that's like in the midst of it all, and they're still right in front of each other. So
Mhm.
I know about the law out here is if they like if a person, in your stuff and they say no, I mean that ain't gonna make that much difference unless they running and they gone and they out and you chase them down.
Oh,
Basically,
okay. So
that's
you
just by
say
law.
was still in the midst of the 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 complete
Altercation. Yeah, it's kind of hard to determine, you know, because that's what I say is crazy because the way that she took advantage of that part because it's like just if you in somebody's spot with their stuff and you come in and they're like, no, that's legally that's still you know what I'm saying? Legally, they have to been and dropped your stuff and ran outside for you to be considered, as you done something. You see what I'm saying?
okay.
So the fact that they was still tangled up, and yes, and then you gotta look at it. We looking at a small amount of an altercation, but like I say, man, it's really knowing the law and the thing that I want to point out is Dajahnae knew what she was doing. It's just Quilla didn't know.
Right.
That's the sad thing about it. The state that Quilla was in, she took advantage of it. She knew she could get her to agree, and
Right. And
that's the sad part about it.
she knew Shanquilla was not in a state of mind to even understand totally what she was asking. So she
Hmm.
kind of set her up,
In so many ways, yeah.
in my opinion. She set her up.
In so many ways,
Hmm.
yes, 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 yes. I mean, that's how it is, man. I mean, anybody that's out here in the streets, you know how to do it. So you don't, you know, that used to be a little school thing, man. Like because you're getting in trouble if you just straight run up on somebody. But if y'all all meet out the park and agree, then it's a little different. It's a little bit different.
Mm.
Now, on this case, I feel like I wouldn't say nobody's innocent or nothing like that, but I think, just like all cases, if we stop being so hard on the people that was there, they might end up giving some good valuable information that could. But once everybody start going bonkers on them, then they're gonna be quiet too because they know what they did and they know what happened.
Right. They're not gonna want.
Anything they say can and will be used against them.
Right. Exactly.
So evidently, the laws felt like there's not enough to prove that that's what caused it, which is unfortunate. Which it don't make no sense to me,
Right.
but
Like, cause we all saw it. You know.
yeah, we all seen it, and
But
that's that's just one thing that makes me upset about it is because of the fact I don't think Quilla would have agreed to it in that state in the way she was. I just don't think she would have agreed to it. I think that Dejanae took advantage of that part. She knew what state of mind she was in, and
right. She
knew
totally
that it. Yeah,
vanished.
she knew because from my understanding, basically from people that's out in North Carolina, since they're free and everything, Desiree basically told her, "Hey, this and that, you did this and that. So, like you're gonna have to either, you know, it out or whatever."
Right.
And Quilla said, "Okay,"
Mm-hmm.
and then
Okay.
Desiree said, "Okay," and then that's how that's how it went.
Yeah.
You know,
And I
but
guess that doesn't help. You know.
yeah,
That.
it doesn't help. And you would think you know, morally, you think that it shouldn't matter, but legally it does. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Legally, it does. Because and it's so crazy because I've seen people get in trouble because they agreed to do something and even backed out in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
Right.
but we got you. You agreed, but you might have backed out when it started happening, but you already
Pretty
agreed for
agree.
this to start to happen.
Mm.
That's the law. I've seen it. I've seen where dudes agree and you know they decide to get out the car.
Mm-hmm.
Just like remember Boys in the Hood when
Mm-hmm.
Trey said get out. He said
Mm-hmm.
let me out. He got out the car before they got over there. You
Mm-hmm.
know, he if he was there when it happened and ran, that yeah
Right.
you
So it's
part of it,
kind of
bro.
like they're saying it's not like it's not number one degree. If you understand what I'm saying, that it's more
Yeah,
S. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean, it's like they're considering it like two people agreeing to
Right.
to
And it's
to
more
to
of a
to
MS.
squash their differences this way, and we can't determine that is what caused what happened to Shanquilla. You know what
But
I mean?
even if they did, let's say they did was able to determine that that's what caused it. Wouldn't it still end up being a MS, a man S? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could have been involuntary. Yeah,
Yeah, right, exactly. So is that something that they would expedite a person over
I mean, from my understanding, they don't really expedite like that unless
for
it's some
that?
big stuff.
Exactly.
But they could have did time out here for that if we would have determined, that that's what it was.
Oh,
But
okay.
but
Okay.
U.S. determined that
They still okay.
it's not nothing, and
Mm,
and that's why they said, if they could get some more valuable information, they'll reopen and look into it. But at this point, you know, but I guess they kind of are talking a little bit because this information got out. We just gotta see. You know what I mean?
right.
But I don't think they're gonna say too much, and maybe it's not too much to say anyway.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
It's
but
so unfortunate.
but definitely, prayers go out to the family. I know they still on it. They're gonna be on it. Everybody, that's on it, stay on it, and
Right.
hopefully, some information or something good to come out of it because it is it's supposed to be a lesson learned for a lot of youngsters, a lot of y'all, a lot of young folks that's going out there partying, vacating, and anything can happen, and
Right.
in the blink of an eye. And if you're not responsible,
Mm,
then you definitely can get in some big trouble. Because I've seen situations smaller than this where people have got in way more trouble.
right.
So it just blows my mind that they didn't get in any trouble, but
Yeah.
that's just how it is.
Yeah. It's so sad, and it's sad because when you think about young people and you tell them to be careful, and it's like in this case, she was with her best friend. Like, you think you're going with your best friend and some other people that you know from school, that you would come back home and that something like this wouldn't happen. But
Mhm.
here we are talking about this case.
Yeah, but like I said, I just wanted to bring that to y'all attention because I remember when I was telling everybody, but everybody was, no, I don't hear it. I don't think it. But yeah, they have confirmed that they kind of like coerced her to say okay before she started the altercation because she knew if she just if she just did that, then that's like you can't just do that. So she had to get her to agree. Yeah.
Right. Right.
But yeah, man, it's the Real Boss TV, man. I just had to drop this real quick for y'all. No, nothing long, because I know people don't like to watch long videos, but we probably have a discussion about it. But yeah, you know, I got this information from somebody that's out there in North Carolina that actually knows the family. I don't have to say their name, but yeah,
Mm,
and know some people out there know them, and
yeah.
it's straight like that. But it's the Real Boss TV 815. I'm out of here.